Welcome back, Congressman Comer. It frustrates me, but I guess it doesn't matter. What do you make of that they don't cover it?
Well, I honestly think it's a good sign. You know, I'll give you another example. When I walked down the hall to go vote in the Capitol, for 8 months, the media, they hang out on each side and they've stopped me. How's your investigation? Implying that there's no evidence. All their stories they wrote out, no evidence, even when we were accumulating mountains of evidence. Now, when I walk to the Capitol, ever since we found those 2 checks to Joe Biden for $250,000, the reporters look down at their feet. They act like they're on their phone. They just turn their back to me. I think that's a good sign. The media knows this is another example of them totally screwing up a big story, whether it was the Steele dossier and the Russian hoax, whether it was Dr. Fauci and the mask, whether it's the Biden family influence peddling. I mean, the media has been wrong so many times. And the fact that they're not covering it. Remember, before, when we would produce something, they would attack me and try to discredit me. Now they're not covering it. That shows we're going in the right direction. And I think what you're going to see is more and more media outlets start calling for Joe Biden to not run again.
Wow. You know, they're so invested in this stuff not coming out because, as you said, they've been ignoring genuine stories about this guy for a long time. Hey, I got to give you a heads up, though. Fox News, there are some great people over there, but their signature public affairs show on Sunday morning did not mention the check, either the $200,000 or the $40,000 check more recently. So they seem to have their own, I don't know, internal fiefdoms over there, difficult figuring out that place. Look, what's coming down the pike? You got anything for us right now?
Yeah, we're at the point, I've been saying this, the subpoenas are imminent. We have enough bank records now. We can bring all the Biden family members in and ask them specific questions about specific transactions. We've talked to enough people. We now know where the money was coming from, and we know the scheme. We know how they were laundering it all the way down to 10 different Biden family members. We know all this. We have the evidence. So we can start bringing them in and asking them questions like, what was this income for? What did you do to get this $1 million? What exactly is this company? You have 20 companies. What exactly do they do? The questions that, honestly, the government should have been asking, whether it was the IRS, the FBI, the Department of Justice, or whomever, finally, the House Oversight Committee is in a position to ask those questions. So, as I've said for the last few days, the subpoenas are imminent, and I think that the Bidens have a lot of questions that they're going to have to answer that they're going to have a hard time answering.
Subpoenas are imminent, but tell me exactly who is going to get them again. I'm sorry if I missed that.
Well, there's several Biden family members. I mean, obviously, Hunter and Jim will be served a subpoena. They're the 2 leading recipients of the millions and millions of dollars from foreign nationals around the globe. And then other Biden family members that have received wires. We're gonna bring them in and see if they can explain how they ended up with getting $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 deposits into their account from Romanian foreign nationals, for example.
Hey, how about Valerie, the sister? We don't hear, they all keep a very low profile. Valerie Biden, and I guess this is legal, but in my opinion, it stinks. She ran all of Joe Biden's campaigns since 1972, all the way up through 2008. Now she seems to be some sort of art merchant, a kind of a middle person for Hunter and his artwork. She presides over that the University of Delaware Biden Center, which got a lot of Chinese money, right? Anyway, is she figuring into any of this?
She does. And you mentioned a key word, the artwork. I suspect that this influence peddling has still been taking place, and I believe it's been taking place through the sale of artwork. So we're going to be highlighting some of our investigative steps that we've taken that pertain to the art world and Hunter's newfound fame as an international artist. And I think that that, too, is going to be hard for the Biden family to explain.
Real quick, the polls that came out over the weekend, Axelrod coming out against Joe Biden. I think you have something to do with that. That's what we're saying. That's what we said, right? They're listening, they're hearing, they know, even though they're not acknowledging. You're having a real impact on Democrats.
how hard is it to explain a loan? You know, if you in fact made a $240,000 loan to your brother, you should be able to prove that in
Yeah.
40 seconds. Whether they can prove it or not, it's still a fact that we've proven that the money that was paid to Joe Biden came from influence peddling. So Joe Biden profited $240,000 off of his family's influence peddling scheme. There's no denying that. And that's just the beginning. Now we can bring these Biden family members and associates in and ask them specific questions because we've built up the case and we have the evidence.
Well, I don't think he's going to be the nominee, and I think something big is going to happen way before then. We'll see, though. Congressman Comer, thank you very much. Great work. Stay in touch, and we'll be right back. Thank you, sir.